A little more than 14 months have passed since ground was broken on a new KSU Foundation office building in the Edge District. Coming up later today, that building's opening comes to fruition. The foundation will join K-State representatives and partners for ribbon cutting at 4:30 this afternoon. The new 80,000 square foot building, located west of the foundation building, will include office space for university partners near campus and the National Bio and Agro Defense Facility, also known as NBAF. The new space will be able to house up to 250 employees, increasing the Edge District's total office and laboratory space to 300,000 square feet. Construction on the new facility began last April 2023, and K-State officials say it is 50% pre-leased and will soon house K-State's Office of Corporate Engagement. The Kansas House has approved the tax bill and now will be sent to the governor's desk for a final signature after nearly 2 years of debate. In a special session held on Tuesday of the legislature, the Senate voted 34-4 and the House 121-2 to forward the unaltered package to the governor. All Manhattan area legislators supported the legislation. Kansas State Senator Yusha Reddy says that most representatives weren't totally happy with the finished product, but it was the best compromise to move forward.
We want something different, and, we were talking about 3 tiers. It came down to 2 tiers, the property tax. All of these were already debated. And if it was amended in any way, we would be back at square one. And I think that's what we needed to understand, is that here's a plan that leadership has agreed to. The governor will sign. It's not everything that everybody wanted, but it is better than nothing, and it is something that we can start with.
The new legislation includes tax cuts for Social Security and food, a 2-tiered income bracket, lowers tax rates, also allowing for low-income taxpayers to receive exemptions, and repeals the state tax on Social Security. The top rate was also lowered from 5.7% to 5.58%. It's expected to heat back up in the listening area over the next couple of days and into the weekend. Temperatures are expected to touch the mid to upper 90s over the weekend, with highs of 96 on Saturday and 94 on Sunday in Manhattan. The Little Apple could see triple digits at the start of next week as well, with expected highs of 101 and 100 on Monday and Tuesday. Wamego will see 95 as its high on Sunday, while Fort Riley is expected to get to 98 as its high on Monday. Triple digits is expected across the region on Tuesday. There is also a possibility for storms this weekend across the listening area. There's a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms overnight on Saturday for Manhattan. With the city of Manhattan seeing problems with its revenue stream, talks have begun amongst city commissioners on how to replenish that fund, which is running low, particularly with federal COVID-19 funds starting to run out. A number of solutions to the problem have been discussed, such as raising the mill levy, which was proposed by Commissioner Karen McCullough. More difficult conversations have been also discussed. Interim City Manager Jason Hilger says that the solution that's been used in the past is reductions in staff.
There are different ways we can look at revenue, but I think historically pressure really comes on reductions. Reductions in people, because people are primarily, that's what compromises the city. It's individuals out delivering services as opposed to a lot of contractual services or commodities that are embedded in our budgets as well.
Hilger says that this may have to be the only solution, as cutting off services can be a major issue for the city. The City Commission will continue to discuss ways to generate more revenue at their next work session meeting on June 25th. There has been a recent uptick in vehicular burglaries in Riley County, and RCPD has been putting out tips to residents to try and keep their cars safe and protected from thieves. Riley County Public Information Officer Ashley Tokoi says simple things can be done to prevent items from your vehicle being stolen.
We suggest, obviously, parking your vehicle in a well-lit area. If you have a garage, obviously, try to park it inside. We've had at least 2 license plates stolen as well, so it's not just items within the vehicles, it's license plates getting stolen.
Tokoi confirmed that there have been no reports of firearms being stolen, but items like money and even an incident where a government-issued laptop were stolen. She says the department also has some recommendations to prevent such crimes from occurring.
Just make sure you're hiding your belongings or taking belongings in, and make sure you're monitoring your vehicle. Don't leave it sit for weeks at a time, those sorts of things.
RCPD uses focused policing to try to crack down on crimes in areas that see higher rates of a specific crime. Armand Bossy Jr., also known as JR of Onega, has announced his run for the 5th District seat on the Potawatomi County Commission. Bossy says his previous 7 years on the Planning and Zoning Board have given him the institutional knowledge required for the county commissioner position.
Platting, the infrastructure that goes into our county, a lot of that has to go through our planning commission. And so we research everything before it goes to the commissioners.
Solar power is something Bosse would like to incorporate more in the northern parts of the county.
I would be in favor, let's put a solar garden in Westmoreland, one in Oldsburg, one in Onega, Havensville, Emmett. You got those areas would really benefit maybe. And then if you want to put a solar panel on your house, I have nothing against that.
District 5 has 3 GOP candidates currently in the running, including J.R. Bosse, Chuck Depew, and Terry Force. For the latest news headlines, head over to our website, newsradiokman.com.
Good morning, I'm Troy Coverdale with your sports headlines as K-Man's Morning News continues. 2 more commitments are in place for K-State's 2025 football recruiting class. Phoenix safety Dominic Mitchell and Blue Valley linebacker McGuire Richmond issued commitments yesterday, the 6th and 7th the program has received over the past 10 days. Richmond chose K-State over Iowa, where his brother is a starter on the offensive line, and canceled a visit to Iowa City that was to take place later in the month. Mitchell committed on the heels of his visit to Manhattan last weekend, picking K-State over the 3 military academies, among others. Cole Reagans recorded a quality start last night with 2 runs allowed over 6 innings, but he only received 1 run of support as the Royals dropped a 5-1 decision to the A's at the Oakland Coliseum. Royals pitchers walked 7 batters on Wednesday, 4 by Reagans alone.
Walks came back to haunt him there in the 3rd inning or whatever that was, that they capitalized on those, and that's all he gave up. I mean, his stuff was really good. Gave us 6 solid innings, 2 runs, gave us a chance to win.
Meanwhile, Matt Quatraro's offense struggled against Luis Medina, who picked up his first victory in more than 11 months.
I thought we put some good at-bats together, but, he kept us off balance. He had good ride, good sink on the fastball. He can get up there in the upper 90s, so he had enough weapons for sure to keep you off balance, and he did a good job.
The Royals have dropped 8 of their last 10, including back-to-back games against an A's team that has the 2nd worst record in the American League. They've seen the Twins overtake them for 2nd in the division and remain 6 back of the first-place Guardians, while holding a 5.5-game lead for the final American League wildcard spot, whittled down to 1 game over the Red Sox in the past week. Seth Lugo looks for his Major League leading 11th win today when he starts the series finale for Kansas City. Mitch Spence will go to the mound for the A's in the 2:37 start on News Radio KMAN. Coverage takes the air at 2. Texas A&M and Tennessee will play for the national title in baseball. For A&M, it's the first time that they've been to the championship series in the program's 130-year history. The Aggies shut out Florida 6-0 yesterday, hours after the Gators had banged out 14 hits and scored the 3rd most runs they had put on the board in the season by hammering Kentucky 15-4. The Gators managed just 4 hits and were shut out for the first time in 145 games. Tennessee's offense, meanwhile, was clicking early and the pitching was brilliant as the Volunteers defeated Florida State 7-2 to eliminate the Seminoles and advance to the college baseball final for the first time since 1951. The Vols put up 3 runs in the first and never trailed. The best-of-3 championship series gets underway on Saturday. PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan said Wednesday the difficulty in finalizing a deal with the Saudi backers of Live Golf isn't a reason for concern. It's been more than a year since the PGA Tour and the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia announced plans to form a partnership that would bring peace to a sport that had been torn apart by the departures of dozens of top players lured away by Saudi riches. Monahan said he's on the phone with the PIF multiple times a week. However, only 7 players have been involved in the talks of the merger. A framework of the deal was announced back on June 6th of last year. One of the complexities the deal faces is a possible objection from the Justice Department on antitrust grounds. Royals baseball this afternoon as the Royals wrap up their series with the A's at the Coliseum. 2:37 for the first pitch. Our coverage will get underway at 2.